your host, Poppy Tech Bouye. And this episode, man, well, first of all, I want to salute and thank everybody who been showing love and rocking with the season so far. Just hitting up necessary topics, and this is what we about, man. This is what we embody. And for this episode, the episode is called "Damn, It Feels Good to See People Up on It with Reason, Necessary Fashion." And I figured what best way to have this episode with, you know what I'm saying, one of the illest in the game. And I'm not just saying that because he's blood, but he's a well-known celebrity stylist, entrepreneur, designer. You know what I'm saying? And he's been around for a minute. He's been doing it for a long time. Some people know him as the Shirt King, but he's been evolving into something even bigger than that. And I'm gonna let him get into that. For those who do know, you know what I'm saying, represent, show love. For those that don't, tap in. And this is who it is. This is what it is. This is what it's about. Introduce yourself. Let them know what it is.
What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? The Necessary Hour. This is Sincere, the Shirt King. Artist, designer, celebrity stylist from Jersey.
Jersey all day.
What else? Jersey all day.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much the introduction.
Yeah.
I mean, we can get into, you know, work that I've done and people that I've worked with and so on and so forth. But that's it, basically. That's me.
Okay.
Better known as the Shirt King.
Yeah, as the Shirt King. For those that don't know, y'all want to see the history on that. I mean, we'll get into it, but you can go to at the Shirt King. Is it at the Shirt King underscore?
Underscore, yeah.
Underscore. Okay.
The original page got taken down.
Yeah.
Instagram.
Yeah. It's always some haters.
Right.
But you know, that was just part of the beginning. That's just a notch on the belt. Where he at right now, that's just something for those that have to catch up on. A lot of people didn't want him to retire that, and they still, you know, he's still on demand as we speak. But rightfully, rightfully so though, because he's such a huge contribution, I think. And the proof is out there. It's not just hearsay or my opinion. I think it's a fact that he just has a history in fashion. You know what I'm saying? I've seen him doing it since we were in high school. You know what I'm saying? And he was like one of the first. A lot of the stuff y'all see now, cats is like just catching up. He been doing it. He's like the Neo. He's like the Neo. He's like the Neo of the whole situation of this Matrix, man. He already been there. So, and you know, right now he has Ben's only going on right now. He got some stuff.
That's the new project.
Let him know. Like, give him a little briefing on that.
A little bit on the Ben's only new project I'm working on. I'm actually trying to get a collaboration deal with Mercedes themselves. It started from something that I love. I love Mercedes just as much as I love fashion and music and sports. It's all been like all that together. So I've been working on it for a while behind the scenes, and a couple of years ago I finally was like, you know, I'm really take it to the next level and just really jump in. So I'm jumping in now. You'll see a little bit here and there, but I'm trying to do it the right way.
And you are, you know what I'm saying? You taking the right necessary steps, man. No pun intended, but that's where it's at. And you know, I'm behind you 200%. You know, we got some special things going on. So, I really wanted to make this episode an ode to the creators. You know what I'm saying? The fashion creators and the stylists. You know what I'm saying? The ones who really put in the work. Who's the root of it all the fashion that still stands the test of time. Aside from the ones that's just the fad, you know what I'm saying, where the real core is at. And that's why I just figured I wanted the necessary aspect of it. I didn't want it to be about just the flashiness, but I figured you would be a part of that entity that could really. I want you to speak for those creatives, man.
Right, right, right.
And when I say, like, even with the episode, damn, it feels good to see people up on it with reason. It was just like, I feel it's a reason you're supposed to. You want to feel good about yourself, how you dress. You got a certain appeal to yourself. I think
Right.
it plays a lot for someone as a person, man or woman. You know what I'm saying? It makes them feel good about themselves. It's part of their body language. When people see you, you want, where we come from, you want to stand out. That's in our blood. Some follow,
Definitely.
which is
Right.
you know they look up to, which is fine. And you know that's something, like, especially even within hip hop. You know,
Right.
we seen how hip hop has evolved, and it started from the streets. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? The fashion started from the streets. You know, that's where the real fashionistas is at. So
Right.
I really wanted to make an episode that really pays a tribute to that and really give people a glimpse of
Right.
really what y'all do it for. You know what I'm saying? Where y'all could, this is
Right.
somewhere where y'all, it could be. Let's kind of decode
Right.
what they just see in their face when they see you out there on your daily 1-2. You know what I'm saying? Being like, yeah, this
Right.
is me. This, you know what I'm saying? This is what I'm about. This is my brand.
Right.
And just the passion behind the brand. You know what I'm saying? That's
Right.
really what makes the brand. Some people who out there who just think they see all the kind of names we could think of, all the brands we could
Right.
think of, right?
Damn,
Versace,
it's so
Gucci.
many. Yeah, it's so many. And
It
it's
is.
so crazy. I wouldn't even really know where to start. I'm trying to think about the best place to start. I can give you my perspective from where
Mm-hmm.
it started for me. And I'm gonna say it started with the which I definitely gotta pay homage to them, the original Shirt Kings
Okay.
from
Okay.
from Queens. They
Okay.
was like
Okay.
they was airbrushing like everything, like in the 80s. Now you know
Nice.
we was babies in the 80s, but
Right. Right.
I got to see a lot of their work through the streets. You know, whether it had been Harlem or whether it had been North, whatever. When you seen the airbrush, it was like, yo, where's this coming from? And then once they hit like certain people on the big screen, I remember the Cosby Show. There's an episode in the Cosby Show, and Theo had on the Shirt King's sweatshirt. I think he had the sweatshirt on, or he had the overalls on, and
I'm trying to remember because I know Cosby Show like it ain't nothing from the back of my hand. I'm trying to.
right.
I remember him having like
It was
overalls on before in the
it was the
episode. I can't remember.
the overalls. It was the overalls. He had the overalls on. It was airbrushed.
Yeah.
It was hard. It was really hard. So for
You
me
know,
to
he
see
always has
that,
something fly on, so that's what I'm trying to.
always,
Always. From the sweaters to whatever. You know what I'm saying? His style.
everything,
Yeah.
everything. Even the Gordon Gartrell. It's like,
Right.
you remember that
Right.
episode? Right. But no, I think that was, to me, I think that was the start. As far as me getting into fashion through, I guess basically you might as well say hip hop, because that was
Right.
a part of it. It went from the spray painting the trains to clothes, and I took that
Right.
literally that same aspect when I got into making clothes or putting my artwork on clothes. It was literally I'm gonna say more than 50% of that was due to them. It was like,
Okay.
whoever these jokers is, they got it. And then once they made it to TV, it was like, oh, it's real. Then you started seeing it on artists, everybody, LL,
Yeah.
Kumo D's, the
Mo
Eric
D.
B's, the Rakim,
Probably the salt and pepper, all of them. Yeah.
all of them wore the Shirt Kings. Like it was for me, it was like a part of my introduction into hip hop, actually. Because you know, in the 80s,
Okay.
I was big Michael Jackson in the 80s. So,
Oh, you know we both were, man. That's single.
right.
That's single handed. You know.
That was a part of the inspiration too, though. Don't get me wrong. It was, Mike was flashy, and I don't know what it was, but I was born with that oh, I gotta be on the stage. I need to shine. I need everything that Mike embodied when it came to fashion was crazy.
And I think it's something. Yeah, not to cut you off, but just thinking about when you speaking of a perfect example with Mike. I think Mike sparked something in every young black male at that time. You know what I'm saying? Not even just us as a people, or even, and this is before he even became to just hit everybody just all across the world, to be globally the figure who he is. But just his appeal, that fashion. You know, you got those certain individuals that's like that, where they really inspired and captivated us to where it was like, it was already in us, but he sparked that fuse. They'd be like, I'm supposed to be, I got some, you know what I'm saying? And we come from where I think a lot of the styles, if you really look at those certain styles, these were styles of us improvising and being innovative. And then it turned out to be something big. Like even how a lot of the, you know what I'm saying, the drug dealers and the hustlers, a lot of them had the appeal. They embody what Run DMC, like they whole style, they whole fashion. You know, with the leather, the hats, you know what I'm saying, the gazelles.
You know what, with that though, the crazy part was Run DMC got that from them. It wasn't the opposite way.
Right.
That's
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It came from the streets. It came from them. And it was that's what I'm saying. They created that where I mean, I just think it's our swagger, bro. It's in the DNA. It's in it. You either know how to bring it out of you, or it's just gonna stay in a nutshell. Because if you look at the history from and even like some of the cats, like the styles they had in Chicago, like how they used to rock in the 70s, the 80s.
Oh yeah, that.
You look at the history.
I was late with that. I said I was late with that, but I think I started to take pieces of that from our elders, where it was like damn, these niggas fly, like with a suit on they fly, like they gonna give it some sauce. It ain't gonna look like a regular suit. It's right. Nah, so
it's no regular degular.
But to me, in a whole, and I say this all the time when I talk to people about it, I feel like, how can I say it? I feel like that's real fashion. Yeah. Whatever the fuck is going on right now, I feel like somebody somewhere is basically just putting their own say so on what is supposed to be considered fashion, and I hate it. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna say that for the world. I can't stand it because I come from something different.
Yeah. Well, that's where it comes to the cloth that we from, that breed.
Right.
And you see how this even being one layer of that, but it's so many layers of how we're seeing we affected with that. As far as stuff is like trying to be driven in one lane, and you can't filter art. You can't filter, you know what I'm saying? The purity. And I think now that's where it's kind of coming back around. Like even that's what hip hop commercially is dealing with. You know what I'm saying? If we talk about on the music aspect, because I just seen that's the main thing right now. Shouts out to Doggy Diamonds. He had posted up Ebro from Hot 97. He had posted up. He said, because I think he was like one of the higher ups or whatever in one of the labels at one time, but he still got pulled, so he know what's going on. And plus, he worked for Apple. You know, I know he got a show on Apple. And he posted up on Twitter. He was saying something like, I've been talking to some people, some execs, and they telling me,
I seen that. Right.
Hip hop they not going for hip hop. Hip hop got to get it together. They gearing more towards the Afro beats and towards the Latin music
like that.
Because they tired of the same watered down. You know what I'm saying? So, but I mean, we knew what was coming. Coming.
I mean, I hope it's coming with fashion too, because we need to get back.
Right.
I want to get back for real, like with everything. I really can't stand to see the shit that's going on right now. But I mean, I guess I'm considered. I heard I'm old. I'm the old head now.
Well, you know how that go.
Right. I'm the old head now. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I definitely I definitely wanted to get back to what I identified as real fashion
Well, you know,
especially from our culture.
right,
Right,
right, and we got to bridge that gap. That's all it is.
right,
If you know what I'm saying, because a lot of the young heads, they watching and they listening, but they want to be like, we got to be the ones where we see they going on like, yeah, okay, I see what you got going on, but boom, 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 instead
right,
of being like real hateful. But I
right.
know
Oh, that shit
the
wild.
yeah, but I think they're missing that too, because where we come from, it was like,
Right,
well,
jokers
it's so
are
different now
telling.
because like your stat, like you can't as far as biting. Now, if you're admiring or whatever, okay, cool.
Right,
But right now, that's what's needed. That's what's needed. It's gonna be
right,
that sensitivity got to get pushed to the side, man, because they just got to see, because it's the future individuals, they out there and they really
right,
looking, they keen on things, they're out there, but we
right,
got to push to the side the puppets and the ones who, in, you know what I'm saying, to
right,
really
right,
keep the longevity of things, such
right,
as fashion, like real fashion, like, and that's dope that you was talking about the real shirt kings, because that even that put knowledge. That was my knowledge for me. You know what I'm saying? Because I think
right,
about that. I heard some things in them. It's I just know where it comes from too, where it derives from,
right.
and it makes me think. We speak of Harlem, we gotta talk about Dapper Dan too, like
Oh yeah,
that. What
oh yeah, definitely.
Dapper Dan did too. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, like
Right,
with Louis Vuitton luggage
all
and
of that.
turning into. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but
And
no, that was a piece. That was a piece. I feel like that was a piece of my inspiration as well. And a lot of people don't know that. I mean, I was a little late to, to to actually doing that, but I used to do the same thing with Timberlands and Air Force Ones and certain coats. I was like, I'm gonna be Dapper Dan part two. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
It was
yeah,
around the time where Dap had to go underground. He couldn't do mainstream like like he was supposed to at that time.
right.
So in my mind, it was like from Jersey, like I'm gonna be the next Dapper Dan. Like I got this Gucci on the Timbs, and yeah, I was doing all of that,
Yeah,
and I was doing it self-taught.
you was ahead of your
Nobody,
time. You
yeah,
always been ahead of your time.
nobody showed me how to do none of that stuff. It was like if I seen something, it was like, oh no, I got it. I'm gonna go home and figure this shit out. And if I
Right,
couldn't make it, I could paint it. And that was
right.
another piece to, you know, I don't want to sound like I'm tooting my own horn, but my genius was like, nah, I could figure it out. Nobody got to tell me. I always felt like once I see it, I can do it. And that's been
Yeah,
pretty much everything. But when it came to,
yeah.
getting dressed, that was a part of it for me. Seeing all of them and actually having some type of roots that come from, my some of my summers spent in Harlem and watching that between the New York fashion and Jersey. I was
In
kind of
Jersey fast.
torn. I was torn. I was in the middle because I'm from Jersey, but at the same time, that early '90s was like, nah, I like what they doing over there.
I
I'm here.
you can't knock Harlem, man, because Harlem, that's
Right,
what they,
right,
as far as the boroughs, they were known for those that just the stylish cats.
right.
Them cats is always about they, you know what I'm saying, the way they present themselves. Um,
It's the crazy part. It's still like that right now, man.
yeah,
They actually I'm not gonna say I'm proud to say it because like I said, some of my roots come from there. I actually went back. I went back to Harlem a couple of weeks ago. I posted on my page,
right,
and
right.
yeah, it was nostalgic, bro. And I was like, yo, I never thought I'd be able to use that word, but it was like flashback to my childhood, and I
Right.
haven't been there in literally maybe like 17, 18 years. So it was
That's
like,
crazy.
oh, right, right. It was like wow, like just seeing certain blocks that my uncle would walk me down and show me different things in different places and different, like boutiques and stores and the way that just everybody on the street dressed. You had
Like on
your
the
cats on
everyday,
the corners.
on
Right. It was
on
like, yo,
every
we
day.
get busy. just to come outside. Like they ain't even gotta go nowhere. It's like, oh no, they putting on new shit every day. And it was like, yo,
Yeah, just coming out.
To see it, bro. 135th and Lenox. Their window was like the first floor window.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to sit in one of the side rooms and sit in the window and watch everybody, like outside, just the cars, the fashion. It was like, oh, this is it. They got it. I need to go back to Jersey and do this. But it was some cats out here. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna shout out to my older brother Troy. Troy had that fashion game on lock too when I was coming up.
Right.
He was my older brother Troy. He was official with it too. Like everything that I seen on TV, Troy had. If Puff had it on, Troy had it. You know what I'm saying? If Dougie had it on, Troy had it. It was like I was getting first-hand lessons on how to do this. So eventually, you know, by the time I start dressing myself, it's like, oh yeah, ain't nobody doing this better than me.
Right.
And if I can't get it, I can make it. Yeah, it was real.
Right. I done seen you do it, man. You was from spray painting on the joints to you was doing stuff with glass, man. You was making the designs, man.
Hey, yo, you know what's crazy? I had to do that right before I was talking, maybe a couple of months ago. Old customer hit me and was like, yo, you remember the glass shit you used to do? It's like, yeah. It's like, yo, I can still get one of those. And I'm like, what? Like, that was a long time ago. Like, you talking about 15
you gotta understand.
15 years ago.
Cuzzo, you gotta understand. Matter of fact, the shirt I'll never forget the shirt you had made for me, the Brick City shirt. Right. It was like a chocolate brown shirt, brown tee. Okay. And you had the designs. It was in glass, but when you see it, the way it illuminated was different than it wasn't like glitter. It was like you was really out here feeling like the golden child when you had your shit on. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I remember because I went to Bike Week. I think I went to Bike Week, Myrtle Beach, and they were like, Brick City. They look in the dark. I'm saying all you see is just reflecting from the car lights, you know, because everybody had their whips or whatever, they bike. Right. And I remember you doing that, and I used to be like, he made this joint with glass. Like, and that should have cut you too. You've been ahead of your game. You've been ahead of the game. Like, you ain't tooting your horn. You're not. I mean, it's just that's your passion. You have some humble pie with when you speak about what you got going on. That's the difference from other cats. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta write the kick that shit. You know what I'm saying? You put in work. And you know what's crazy? I said I was gonna start talking shit. Because I've been humble too long, and I've watched so many things come out, and I'm like, yo, I did that shit 10 years ago. And like, when am I gonna get the credit for this shit, right? So I said I was gonna start, you know, picking up, going live, talking about a lot of stuff, and I don't know what it is. I guess I just in my mind it's like, nah, you know what? I'm a wait. I'm a wait. I shouldn't have to wait, but me getting my flowers instead of giving them to myself, it was like somebody gonna recognize eventually. Somebody's gonna recognize. And the thing I learned, they're watching the consistency. Everybody got their watches. You got your people watching. So whether it's certain layers, you're going to see them in passing, they're going to be like, yo, you, boom, 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 so-and-so. You're going to be like, ain't know me or whatever. So much you done did, it's tapped in so many ways with so many people. You see how they react when you said you was going to retire as a shirt king. They was like, they still was trying to, you can't. They still want orders. They still want orders.
Yeah, I'm getting that now as we speak. I know I keep looking down. I'm sitting here working now. I'm and that's what trying to wanted.
I wanted them to see you. Right. I wanted them to see you multitasking and showing this is what it is. This is your passion. You are a prime example of the ones out there who's been putting in the work, and for those to be an inspiration, and aspiration for those who are trying to do that and
Right.
want to do it the right way and do
Right.
it the necessary. You know what I'm saying?
You're right. You're
And
right.
I look at like that's. I wanted to speak on that side of fashion, man, not just being
Right.
like, when some
Good.
people just
Good.
wearing something and it
Right.
just to wear or like look at me, but it's not.
I
It don't
got you.
match. It don't match their bravado. It don't match their
I
what they're
got you.
about. But the
Them
people
jokers
out there
that
who are
just
like
want to wear a name brand.
right. So it's like
Right.
when you got something like, what I'm saying, just like you see how people are with Benz Only. This is something that as soon as
Right.
you press that button,
Right.
you see the people who there's so many people who love Benzes or Benz owners. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So they're
Right.
like,
Right.
oh man, I got something that can, you know what I mean?
Right.
That
And
makes
it goes
them feel
with
even more so a part of,
right. Right. And I feel like
Benz. Hey,
with Ben's
Mercedes better
only.
get it together.
Right.
Mercedes better
Yeah.
get it together.
Yeah. They gotta hurry up. I'm working on a few ways right now to get that done. Hopefully within the next year things will work out right with that situation. But I feel
Right.
like with
Shout
me.
out the Grateful 40. I see him saying one of one, number four, none to come. Yep. That's
Oh,
fact.
cousin,
That's
what up?
fact.
What up? Yeah, that's Rock. I see him. Rock, what up?
Yeah.
What up? What up?
Salute to everybody on the check-in, man.
Oh,
Everybody who coming
oh
in and
yeah.
out. Who gonna come back and
Okay.
watch the video later. It's gonna be on YouTube. But this is,
Damn, I
I
wasn't even
mean,
paying attention.
yeah.
Yeah, no.
It's a long time coming, man. I want this to
Oh
even be an
yeah.
outlet for you whenever you got a certain way how you wanna speak to the people about what you
Right.
got going on, or
Well,
even if you
we
want to do.
definitely I'm sorry to cut you off. We definitely gonna do something on here as far as once this the docu series is complete. Um,
Yeah, and
and
that's what
once
I'm
again,
excited about.
I'll say in front of everybody that's on here and who will end up watching this interview. Um, Shout out to my cousin doing the intro song for the docu series because he killed that.
Much,
Salute
much
to
love,
you.
Carlo.
Salute to you.
Yeah,
I can't I,
yeah.
I can't wait to finish putting it together, but it's taking some time. It's taking some time. I felt like, you know, I'm so careful about things that I'm doing now. I used to jump out and just do stuff and really not get the full effect of it. So
Right.
so with this documentary, like the docu series, I'm sorry, I feel like I want to take my time and do it and do it the right way. So we putting it together piece by piece, and it's taking,
Right.
I thought it was something that we was gonna be able to do 1, 2, 3, and it's like,
Yeah.
nah, it's not that easy, bro. And
Yeah. The mechanics,
I
the
took it
mechanics, and the
right.
technicalities.
It's
Yeah, we get it.
it's a lot more difficult than I thought because as far as with the clothes and stuff, that's something I could just do. So I'm
Right.
thinking, oh yeah, docu series, let's get this done, let's get this shot, and it's not like
Right.
that. And
Right.
shout out to my boy
Right.
S. Dot that's shooting the docu series. He's in Atlanta, so that's another thing.
Right.
I was waiting. Hopefully next month, September, I'm gonna start traveling back down south. I'll be in Atlanta and in Florida.
Okay.
Basically working on that as well as a few other things. So hopefully,
Right.
I'm foreseeing January 2024.
Okay. That's what
I'm hoping for.
we shooting for January, top of the year.
We shoot for exactly. Yep.
We shooting for the top. Okay. I'm
Yeah,
excited, man.
yeah.
We still got some stuff behind the scenes we trying to get going, man. And I told you I got you 200% even on the score.
Oh,
Try
yeah,
to get
definitely.
the other sounds going on throughout for the episodes and get things going, man. I'm excited.
Right.
I'm happy. I'm proud, and I know how that is because you got that momentum. You know what I'm saying, and then it just shows how things got to flow. But that lets you know once it comes around full circle, we get it out there, fully packaged and complete, quality.
Right.
They're gonna appreciate it even more.
Right. And I can say too, while we on here, a huge shout out to Misa Hilton, which is another innovator, aka an architect as far as this fashion game go. She
Okay.
a lot of people, I don't know if a lot of people know her background when it comes to this fashion game, but it goes deep. And even with me, I found out that it goes deeper than I even thought. Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
Like,
man. She like from her styling, early Mary J. Blige, like
yeah, Misa go
yeah.
back. Misa been
Misa
they
go back. Even
they
before
got.
that though. Yeah,
Shouts out to Misa, bro.
yeah.
Shouts out to Misa Hilton, man.
Definitely
She, yeah,
shout out to her.
she
As far
deserves
as
all her
before.
accolades, bro.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I've had a brief convo with her
Mhm.
about telling my story, and
Okay.
it really all became it came up behind I did a custom hoodie for Faith a couple of years ago, and it was for a
Okay.
video, and I didn't get the credit for it, and they actually cut it out the video, like it was a
Oh
whole
wow.
scene, there's a whole scene cut, and
Oh
it
wow.
was like, yo, what happened? It was like, oh, we didn't get the written approval and all this other shit, and I felt some type of way at first, and I was like, nah, that's the business, I'm used to it, and
Right.
she was like, yo, a lot of people don't know who you are. And me seeing her backstage at concerts and all of that, she asked, like, yo, I see you everywhere. You know, you with this artist, you with that artist. We talk. And she was like, yo, you got to tell your story. Because a lot of people don't know.
Right.
And I was
Right.
like, right, I'm trying to give her like a quick run through of who I am. And she like, no, you got to really tell your story. You got to put it together. And that was like really that first light bulb. That was like, I gotta tell everything because a lot of people
Yeah.
don't know. A lot of
Yeah.
people don't know some of the things that I've done and some of the places I've been and some of the people I dressed and small stuff that gets looked over because
Right.
it get looked over by, I guess, just time, because I'm pretty sure y'all seen some shit on TV or seen somebody on an award show with something that I made on, and it was like,
That's what
damn,
I'm saying, man.
it's it's a few of those moments where it's like, oh shit, nobody knows I did that. And
Yeah.
then it was
And
coming from an early time before social media. A lot
yeah.
of that stuff was before social
Right.
media. So
Right.
I'm
Right.
I'm going through stuff now trying to find old pictures and old videos because we was using tape recorders. So now I'm going
Right.
trying to find old tapes. I put up on Facebook the other day. I'm looking for a VCR. I was like, yo, who got a VCR? Because I gotta
Right.
look through these tapes because it's a lot of things I can say and people can be like, man, you ain't do that. But it wasn't easy
That's proof.
like having these iPhones and stuff like that. So
Right.
I'm
Imagine that.
that's another
Imagine if we had that then.
oh my. I told my boy the other day, I said, bro, it was so much stuff that I did in I'm gonna say my younger days, not that I'm
Yeah.
that old, but in my
Yeah.
younger days that I would have went viral. I would have been a million sensation, Instagram, all of that.
It's so much you did in real. It's so much you have done in real time.
Right,
So
right,
it
right.
like you know what I'm saying. Salute to Miss Misa for that. You know what I'm saying,
Oh
because
yeah,
that's a fact.
right,
Because that's with anybody. No matter what level they are. Because some things get overlooked, some things don't get credited. Where you could be like, oh
right,
damn, he did that,
right.
and
You
it's
find out
that's
years
your
later.
right. It's your volumes, which is how it's supposed to go regardless. Like I even tell cats, like even whatever you do, even like with certain artists, I tell them I was like, yo, whatever you coming in this for,
Right,
understand, just keep going. Don't
right,
you don't look back because understand every 5 minutes is somebody just finding out about you. You know what I'm
right,
saying? I'm saying every minute or so, even minute to 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
right,
Give or take. It's somebody, no matter what level you on, it's somebody that's just getting in tune, like from something you might have been a
right.
part of, or
And it's so
something you
crazy.
in totality brought out. They be like, damn, this is. Let me catch up
Right.
on him and
Like,
see. Then they go,
what inspired you about fashion? That's what I wanted to get into. I know we had stuff we
Um,
was talking about, but
right.
we get back into that too.
We was going back into a whole
Yeah,
bunch of different topics.
right.
Inspired me. Um, the first inspiration I could say it was really like to be different. Like that was key to me. Like that's how I can express myself.
Right.
You
Right.
know, that was as far as being inspired. You know, like I said before, um, being able to grow up in certain key places and see certain people get dressed and really take pride in getting dressed, that was the inspiration for me. Like,
Right.
oh nah, this feels better than everything. Like, I don't know how everybody else feels, but I'm pretty sure everybody can agree when you look good, you feel good.
Right.
Whatever else
Right.
comes after that, you play good, you whatever it is.
Right.
So with me,
Right.
it was like that's where it starts. Like if I walk out this house and I feel good, and then you get the compliments, and it's like, yo, where you get that from? Or damn, that's hot, that's dope, that's this. So it's like hearing that as at a young age, or seeing, like I said earlier, my older brother, seeing them jokers in Harlem, like just that swag that they had, that was the inspiration for me. It was like, oh hell yeah, I want to feel that. I want you to look
Right.
at me when I step out. I don't give a
Right.
damn
And that,
if I'm going to the grocery store. That
right. Right.
that's it's always been that.
Now, just even think about, I think, even just in our DNA, how we are, we the certain individual, we don't rock just anything. Like,
Right,
you got the trends, but it could be that, but you find your niche, you find your, oh, I like that. Let me see if I get it in this and get it in that. Whereas
right,
that's where you kind of stand apart. You know what I'm saying?
right,
With
right,
certain individuals. So, like, like the ones that was like, they always got to have the J's, they always got to have the 10. With me, I know I was always just like the opposite. I had something, maybe like, yo, when you
where you
got
get
them?
that
Like, they don't
from?
even think about, yeah, like
Right,
I had the few
right,
lies back then, you know what I'm saying? A6 or something. They were like, yo,
right,
what? Like,
right.
yeah. And it just be
Nah,
like,
I was
and we was the type that speak for ourselves. We just be on our regular, 1-2 every day,
right,
being your
right,
regular self. Hey, what's going on, y'all? What's up? What's up? And you be, it's
right,
such a connection with you
right,
that you could be talking with somebody and they be like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, this?
right,
You know what I'm saying?
right,
But
right.
not copy people. That's just,
That's
it
just what
really
it
was
is.
a part of you.
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely,
That's
definitely,
what I
definitely,
thought that stood
definitely.
out the most. You know what I'm saying? Something like that would stand out the most, as far as just when somebody has a certain kind of fashion. You can have people
Right,
that can rock Gucci, but you got certain people that know how to. They'll
right,
take a piece of the Gucci and
right.
like
You don't
take it somewhere
necessarily
else.
have to be right. You don't necessarily have to be in what you've seen in the window at the mall,
Right.
because that ain't really going. And to me, uh it's not genuine. That's more generic.
There
Like
we go.
I want you to see what I could do, not what they put on in the window in Macy's. Like it wasn't.
Right.
It was never about that.
Right.
I,
Right.
I
See, there
will
we
say
go.
this.
That's it.
I won't.
Genuine and genetic. I mean
Right.
generic.
Right.
Genuine and generic. That's the
Generic.
way to
Right.
you broke it down just right.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And you know what? I won't be a hypocrite because I did both. I did the name brands. I
Yeah.
did the J's.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did both.
That's
But
all
to
right.
be honest with you, I feel like me being me doing my own thing, whether I was
Right.
wearing my own brand or something I found that don't nobody else had, or something old that was like, most of these cats that do this, do that, they're gonna think, oh, that's played out. Like, no, nigga, this was 30 years ago and I got it right now. You know,
Yeah.
I've had a lot of conversations like that where I walked in the rooms like, yo, where the hell did you find that? Why?
That's another one too.
How? Right,
That's another
right,
too. Where, like that's
right,
another one too.
right.
Yeah.
But all of that, I feel like all of that has something to do with that inspiration that makes me want to do it, that makes me want to get up and get dressed, that makes me want to go somewhere and be the flyest person in the room, or the not even the flyest. You can say the original one in the room. You know, the
Right.
standout one. That was fine for me.
Yeah.
And like I said earlier, I feel like the beginning for me with that was really Mike. Like Mike, you know, watching Mike was like, Mike didn't give a shit. Like, yeah, I'm gonna wear one glove and it's gonna
At
be in
all.
glitter
With the
and
glitter socks.
right with glitter. This is what I'm doing, and I'm gonna make you love it. Like
Yeah.
I was definitely like that for a long time in the beginning. I didn't care. I have which is crazy. One of my OGs was on the live earlier. I seen his name pop up. He said to me one day a few years ago. I showed up to a old football game at our old high school, whatever, and I had
Mm-hmm.
something crazy on. It was like a red fox, like the actual body of the red fox. I had it around my coat
I
from the
think I see
head to the
a
tail.
picture of you with like a
Yeah,
fox around. Yeah, okay.
yeah. So I'm walking the game, and everybody's looking, and he says to me, "Now this my OG. Like I grew up under these jokers." He was like, "Yo, you the only motherfucker I know that could pull that off." And that shit, to be honest, that shit made me feel like, you know what, you goddamn right. I'm the only person that could do this. And
Right.
then no, literally like not even a month later, you get the people that copy and the people that bite. I should call some names while I'm on here, but I'm not gonna drag
I
nobody.
know. Right,
I'm not
right,
gonna
right.
I'm not gonna drag nobody.
They know what it is. They know what it
Right,
is.
right. And
It's
I watched a lot of the things that I've done be imitated, and I used to take it the wrong way. I used to take it the wrong way, and I feel like growing from that, I understand what it is now. You like my
right,
style, you know what I'm saying? I get
right,
it.
right.
I get it. You seen me do something, and it was like, damn, I gotta do that. And I used to really catch a few jokers doing everything that I did, and I was like, yo, this is crazy. This is crazy. But yeah, in a
I think that just kind of
nutshell, that's the
what
that.
you gonna say.
I said no. In a nutshell, with your original question was about the inspiration. That's where it really came from with me.
Hmm.
It was just about being different. I was good with being different, being the standout one. I didn't want to
Right,
look like everybody else.
right, right. That's been me too. That's always been
Right,
me. And I,
right,
I go back to earlier, um, in the live when you were speaking on how you had your moments where you would feel discouraged. I
oh yeah,
like, and see, this is with the necessary show. Excuse me.
right,
This is that's one of the elements that I have
right,
on the show too, where I want it, where people can be themselves and vent. You know
right,
what I'm saying?
right, right,
Like
right,
I said, I
right,
want it to be any topic or any person who is a guest. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what we're
right.
speaking on, is really like just the rare, uncut, um, just really being able to be themselves
Tough, right, right.
and just speak on the things that don't really that really kind of gets pushed to the side. It's
Oh
always
yeah,
about the glam and the glitz, but they got to
right,
understand what comes with that. You know what
right.
I'm saying?
Because it's
The blood,
it's
sweat, and
not
tears.
easy, right? It's
Right,
not easy at all.
right.
I'm still listen. I just basically celebrated 26 years of making shirts,
That's
and I'm only 40.
great. I was thinking,
Right?
I knew it was
Yeah,
over 2 decades.
yeah,
I was thinking the other night. I was like, okay, boom. I
yeah.
want to make sure we get it accurate, get the math right. So
Right.
it's been 26 years.
26 years. Yeah,
That's crazy.
since
That's
my first um my first clothing line. I was
yeah.
12. I want to say I was 13, but it was
Who's that?
in
That's with
between
Gene
12.
Q.
No, 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 no. Gene Q was like the third one. That was to me. I call it my most successful to date because I think I've done the most with that brand as far as money made, fashion shows, and presentation. Um, Gene Q was the biggest to date. I feel like that was like the highlight of one of the highlights of my career making shirts. But no, my first clothing line was called Clue, and it's crazy. I would have to show you what it looks like, but all of that's gonna be in the docuseries.
I love it.
That
I love
was
it.
seventh grade.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
that was my
That's
first
crazy.
clothing
We ain't even
line.
and that's just on the real. We even with family, we ain't never even get into depth with that. I knew how long
Right,
you've been going and doing it, but
right,
as far as the brand, I guess I got to see. I saw more so of the growth. I saw the
Right,
growth stage. I saw the
right, right,
I guess I could say where the evolution really started taking
right,
part. You know what I'm saying?
right, 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 right.
That's what I think it is.
So
But I
a
like
lot
the
of
fact that
people. Go
what
ahead.
you gonna say?
Okay. No, go
No,
ahead. I hear you.
what you gonna say?
I was saying a lot of people wouldn't know that unless you went to school with me. A
Right.
lot,
Okay.
if you wasn't in school, because it started as a school project. That's really what it was. It was a teacher that the project was basically you had to do a project on what you wanted to be when you grew up,
Right.
and he knew that I played football, was good at football, and he was like, "Yo, you can't do it on football. You can't do you going to the NFL." And I was like, "That's it. That's me." And at that point of my life in the seventh grade, that's all I could really see. Like, nah, I'm that good. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna go to the NFL and be rich. And that was my.
Right.
And he was like, "Nah, you can't do that. So you got to figure out whatever else it is you love that you want to do." And man, I went home and was like, "I don't really like nothing else." And my mother was like, "Yes, you do. You always worried about what you putting on." And I was like, "You know what? You're right. I'm gonna make
That's
my
crazy.
own clothes." And she took me, like, bro, we went to City Hall, Elizabeth. We registered my clothing line name. Like, I went through the process of everything, getting my first shirt
Salute
made
to
because I
Auntie,
didn't.
man.
Yeah, yeah,
Salute,
yeah. That was
salute to
really
Auntie,
dope.
man.
That was really dope. And I actually have that presentation on film. I gotta find it, but she was
Okay.
in my class when I presented it. Like,
Wow.
yeah, yeah, she was videotaping when I presented it for my class project. And
Mm-hmm.
at that point, it was like, after the project, I'm not gonna lie, it kind of just fell to the wayside until the next year when I met another dope teacher. Shout out to Mr. Horvath. He was a graphic arts teacher, and
Okay.
he basically was like, you like this, you like that. He let me be free. He ordered my first airbrush gun, 8th grade, like through the school. It was like, nah, I was the only person, I'm assuming as of right now, I was the only person in Abraham Clark history that had airbrush class instead of graphic arts on their report card. A lot of people don't know
Are you
that either.
serious? On a
Yeah.
book? That's
I
crazy.
was the only one that could use it.
See, that's
Nobody else could use that.
see,
Yeah, a lot of
we get some untold. This
right,
is
right,
yeah.
right.
This is
I'm giving you
this
the
is rarity
preview.
right here.
This is the preview of the docuseries because all
Yeah.
of that's in it.
Yeah. Y'all
Um,
getting exclusive. This
right, right. A
little
little
tidbit,
snippet exclusive.
on a necessary hour. Yeah.
Right,
This.
right, right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was that part, and then I started Sincere Wear that year in 8th grade. That was my second clothing line that I tried
Mhm.
to push. I ended up doing a project for at a King College that year where I was able to present my clothing line. It was like kind of like how they would do like science fairs. It was something
Yeah.
like that,
Okay.
but I
Okay.
got to present my clothing line there, and like I had a photographer with me. Like that was really dope at 13, 14 years old. But like I said again, a lot of people don't know. They don't know that part of where this shit started. People
And
see
that's
it
good.
now. It's like,
That's
oh
good
yeah,
that
you
you
make dope
expressing
shirts,
it.
but
Right.
right, right, right,
I'm
right.
glad you expressing that because it shows how it takes just evolving, always
Yeah,
changing, always
yeah,
coming up with
yeah.
something new. That's the normality of it. That's why
Right,
I'm glad you even speaking on it, just to get on the behind the scenes of
right,
like what you know what
right,
I'm saying for what you become now to where it
right.
all started. You know what I'm saying?
Started.
That's so dope. That's even history you put me on as far as the other names, but
Yeah,
that's kind of dope because that makes me think of like when I started with the music,
music.
man. Like we
Oh
had
my
so
God,
many different.
you started.
We had different rap names. We had different
You,
every rapper, every you know what I'm saying. A lot of. I'm gonna tell you at least 90%. I can't speak
right,
for the singers and any artists. Some of them too, they had different names because they was if you go back to like the Temptation days, a lot of them they
right. They
started
all had
out a
different
different
names.
name. They was
Right.
in and some of them was in different groups. Then they got
Yeah.
together and
Right.
became the Temptation. So you had a lot of
It's a
groups
lot
like
of
that.
that.
A
Right.
lot of that.
Like you.
That's a lot.
We could talk about you too. Like you was DJing at like 3 years old. That was way before I started with clothes, brother.
Listen. That's a whole nother. You
A
know what I'm
whole nother
saying?
episode.
That's a whole nother build. That's a whole nother build, man.
Right.
But I think even with that, uh, just the different things that we got like talented vessels for.
Right.
You can have that photogenic memory. You remember it like it was yesterday. The
Yeah.
first, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I
Yeah.
think it's so dope what you do in the docu-series. People get to really hear that and see where
Right.
it's like that intricate piece, so they could be like, oh man, just so they could feel like
Right.
they are part of
Right.
the journey. So it takes
Right.
them back as well as
Yeah.
wanting to be a part of your journey now. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So
Right.
like even you talking about that, like man, I remember that like it's yesterday, man. I like even when it came back up to hip hop, being the hip hop 50 years,
Right.
like I think about like I remember the first 45 record I touched. You know what I'm saying? So you
Right.
think about
Right.
little moments like that. You know what I'm
Moments like
saying?
that. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think that's so dope, but just it shows you. I think if you keep all of the same characteristics of yourself, as far
Mhm.
as what your brand is, and you being the creative that you are, that's what helps you stand the test of time. That's what makes
Right.
you still. And then sometimes I mean, we are human, so you're gonna have something sometimes you gotta go back and reflect to keep
Yeah.
you to find like, okay, what am I missing? Or
Right.
or even just to find inspiration, especially how it is today.
Yeah.
Not to knock the
But
new
that's
generation, but I think what it looked like to me is what we
right.
seen like the revolutionary part in 1970. But I think now it's where the kids are between wanting to make a statement for their generation, but at the same time
Right.
still trying to find themselves. Whereas with
Right.
us, where we come from, it was that golden
Right.
era where we represent, boom, and we was steadfast and wasn't no trying to figure it out, find out it was. But
This
now
who
it's
I
it's
am.
so
That's
much.
it. Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
it's no there's no more barriers now. It's everything is so all in one, and it's like
Right.
a crowd. I think
Right.
everything is so, you know what I'm saying? It's so
Right.
secluded at the same time, even though they don't have no filters really or no barriers, and they got all, especially with technology. Technology,
Technology.
yeah,
To
it's
me, you
a
could
gift and a
say
curse.
it messed everything up.
Yeah, it's a
I'ma
it's a
say
gift
it.
and a curse, but
I'ma
it's
say
the
it.
way you play with it. That's
Right.
all. It's the way
Right.
you got to play with it, and
Right. Right.
I think doing something like how you say you do with the docu series, or just having like even with music, a discography or something where people they have some kind of order to see
Right.
where they can help them to inspire them. And I think that's what the
Right.
generation now is looking for. And so they
Right.
find themselves going back to. And once they get that in they mental,
Mental. Right.
aside from what they wanting to do in life,
Right.
oh they gonna be set. They gonna be set.
Right.
That's what they need. Right now they a lot of them is like a chicken with their heads cut off. Like I always say, it comes back
They
to it.
lost.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
You know
They
what I'm
lost.
saying?
It's a
Yeah.
lot of lost ones. Yeah.
Right. And that's where
Yeah.
we got to bridge the gap. And I think once
Right.
they see that and they see your longevity, not only the consistency. Theirs is
Right.
consistency, I would say, because it's about what they doing now, how they stay on it. Yours is
Right.
longevity because you've been
Right.
consistent
For
forever, for
so
eons.
long. Right.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's where the
Right.
longevity kicks in. So,
Right.
you know, I just think the
It's
way what you want to say about it? How you
nah.
speak?
Yeah.
How you feel
Yeah.
about that? You
I was.
agree?
I
You
was
agree?
gonna say. Yeah. I definitely agree. I was gonna say. I've worked with a few younger kids
Mhm.
over the last couple of years, and that's kind of what that message that I was trying to basically send to them. Like, cause I'm human, bro. I've given up a lot of times. When shit got hard, I had, and I feel
Right.
like that was a part of the downfall of some of the things that could have been even greater in my career. But we all human. I feel like there was a lot of times where I felt like giving up. Like, yeah, I don't want to do this no more. I
Right.
mean, even with the even with the retirement thing, I explained to a client last night the reason why as far as the retirement goes, it was like, um, it's kind of like with music. You can keep going. There's a few that can keep going, but it's not
Right.
going to hold the same amount of weight as it did in the 90s. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Jay,
Right.
Jay, Jay could drop an album right now. Yeah, it's gonna be hard, but it's not gonna be felt like it was in
It's
'99.
not.
Hard Knock Life.
It's not.
It's not gonna feel like that. So
Right.
that was a part of me, saying, I was ready to retire and I was ready to do something new, and I wanted to tell my story first. But yeah, as far as that go, my message to all of the young kids, especially the ones that was trying to get into fashion design and graphic design and art, and it was just like that. That was my message, was just don't stop, you know. And I like really like I forced that. I taught a couple of classes over the last couple of years, and that was just literally my point. Like, if you got something, don't stop. Don't even
Yeah.
don't even think about. I don't give a damn how hard it get. I don't care how discouraging it get. And I've told stories about me sitting down with big people, thinking that, oh, my life is about to change. Like, they like my stuff,
Right.
and sitting in offices with like $1 million offices, thinking, oh, it's over. I made it. And for that to flop, those situations was like, oh yeah, I'm done. I'm done. And I should have never felt like that. But I didn't have anybody next to me like, well, you can't give up.
Right.
It was myself making me do that. Like, I gotta
That's
go
heavy.
back at it.
That's heavy when you don't
Yeah,
got that cushion of somebody to
yeah,
be like, yo, just to see it from the
right.
outside and be like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, nah. It was certain situations. I mean, I put the name out there. I'll tell the story. I met with Swiss Beats,
Oh,
and this
okay.
was this was first year Gene Q, my first year,
Okay.
2003. This was
Okay.
literally 20 years ago. He
Okay.
flagged, he chased me down for the shirt that I had on. Like, yo, where you get that from? I need that. It's like, nah, make these. He gives me the number. Uh, Everything is sweet. I go home. This was in Atlantic City. I go home and I'm like, yo, it's on. I got Swiss. He feeling it. It's about to go. I get invited to the office. This was the beginning of Full Surface
Oh,
when he had just
okay.
signed Cassidy.
Cassidy.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
bro. I'm Mashonda. I made shirts for all of them.
Oh,
I go to the
wow.
label. I'm in the office. I'm like, yo, this is it. This is one of those moments where I was like, yo, everything happened so fast. This was literally the first year that I started that clothing line. So I was
Mm.
like, everything it was overnight. It was really happening like that. And I got up there and I wanted to talk to him, and I go in the office. I showing him, all the stuff that I made, and I was like, so what can we do? Like, I'm ready. It's like, I can't really do nothing with you, but thanks for the shirts. And I was like, oh, nah, this, and then it was like a breakdown. It was like, yo, that's hot. That's hot. I don't really like that. I don't like that, but that's dope. And it was like, no, I appreciate you. And I'm like, no, I want to work with you. I want to. It's like, yeah, I don't know nothing about that. Like, I'm focused on my label.
The
And when I tell you,
label.
when that door closed, it was like heartbreak. Like,
Yeah.
if a girl broke your heart, it was like, yo, that walk back to the train station was like sick for me. Like, the
Mm.
whole way back to the train station, I'm like, fuck it, I'm done. Mind you, this is literally the beginning, the first year. I'm like, yo, I'm done. I can't do this. No, I'm doing this and this that. But I'm gonna say, and if I can remember correctly, it was like a day later, I got a huge order. Like, one of my first big orders was like maybe $4,000. It was a church
Wow.
order.
Mm.
Right. And I was like, now mind you, I'm a year out of high school. Everything was fast. It was happening fast. And I got this huge order, and the people in the church was like, yo, whatever you did to that shirt, we want it. That's crazy. And we gonna write the check. It was like, what? What? Oh yeah, now I'm back on. But
Yeah, see?
it took something like that for me to be like, oh no, I can't get this up.
Right.
I'm too nice with it. And at
And that's
that point, there wasn't
one
no
door closing for another door to open.
to another door opening. It was literally
Right.
that. It was literally that. And it was a lot more doors that closed, bro. I can tell you that. But at the end of the day, every time I felt like I wanted to give up, I ended up going back. Kind of like where I'm at now. I retired a month ago, and I'm still sitting here. I'm still sitting here
I,
right now doing shirts. Like, what the
when
hell?
it happened, I knew. I was like, okay. And it's that was a heavy moment.
Right,
But I was watching on the other end and seeing how people were reacting. And
right.
I was like, this is not gonna be easy. It's not
Yeah,
gonna
no,
be easy. I mean, you still got your thing going on, but then I was like, then I seen orders coming, orders still kicking in, sports, you know what I'm saying, with the game, with football and everything coming
right,
through,
right,
and everybody, a lot of people were so invested and used to that. So,
right.
and they know they can't go to, and then you gotta look at it too, they can't go to nobody else. Ain't nobody doing
No, the crazy
like
part
that.
is, wait. The crazy part is that's the conversation I was having last night because
Mhm.
they can go to somebody else.
They
It's not
can,
gonna be me. It's not
right,
gonna be what I do.
right,
It's not gonna be. It's not gonna look like what I do. It's not gonna feel like what I do. But
right,
they have options now to go to somebody else,
right,
and that's literally what messes everything up for me. It's like,
yeah,
yeah, it's over. I'm good. I'm gonna go do something else. I wanna venture out and try something else new. It's
right,
been a long time, so
right,
I didn't look at it. A lot of people say, "Oh, you can't quit." I didn't look at it as quitting.
yeah,
I feel like I've had all the success in the world. Like to me, just my personal. I feel like everything I wanted to accomplish in doing this, I've done it. Now I can clearly say for everybody, my my bank account don't match the success, but
right, right,
as far as me doing everything I wanted to do, like I set goals and literally like thought about who I wanted to who I wanted to work for, who I wanted to style, who I wanted to do shirts for, and to actually see that, to going on tour with A-list celebrities and like that type of stuff is what I dreamed of.
right,
And I did it.
right.
I did it. I really did it. And it came from my God given talent. And it was like, oh no, I'm good. I'm not looking at this as I quit. I look at this as, I'm ready for the next chapter.
Yeah, what's the next step?
That's it. That's what the retirement for me was.
Mhm.
Um, as far as doing shirts and stuff, I feel like and and this is funny too. I feel like when Mike retired, when Michael Jordan retired, and he was playing baseball, but he would still go to the gym.
Right.
He might not have
Right.
been playing with the Chicago Bulls, but through that
He's still playing.
retirement, he was still running to the gym playing pickup games. So I was like,
Right.
you know what? I kind of look at it like that. I wanted to take this retirement thing serious, and the fact that I'm still here in New Jersey is kind of making that long. But
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll be out of here in a couple of weeks, and hopefully I can really let the retirement thing kick in.
Yeah, and
So
it's gonna be in full gear how you want it because I know what you got going, what you're working on right now. This is the true empire. I
right,
think that
right,
you you know have transcended and transformed into. You know what I'm saying? Where you at right
right.
now in life, and you got it's so much that's like it's still always going to be a part of you, but now you could take it to where you really want to take it.
Really,
You know what I'm saying?
exactly,
And
exactly.
even with the docu series will kind of take them through
Right,
where you at now. You know what all it
right,
took, everything, and then it could be like, oh man, he was a part of this. You know what I'm saying? Because there's so many
right,
people who gonna know you for business only that once they
right,
see that history, it's gonna take you
right,
to a whole other level too. You know what I'm
right.
saying? So
And I think that's a big part of me actually trying to land a deal with collaboration deal with um a collaboration deal with Mercedes, because it's like,
Mercedes,
you
right?
know, at this point right now, for somebody to look at me and say, oh no, this is just somebody that's trying to do something, but then when you can go back and I could document 26 years of doing this and who I did this for, and that's when it'll make a lot more sense. And that's kind of why I understood when Misa was telling me, like, yo, you got to tell your story. It's gonna
Yeah,
mean something. When you tell your
yeah,
story, it's like, oh damn, like, oh, you really been him, you know.
right,
So
right. Because
I'm
you got to look at it like you. I think I guess the way of her even bringing that is you got to look at it also too, because your work was speaking for itself. So
right,
some people might know
right,
they seen your work, but just
right, but
didn't
don't know it was
know
me.
it was you.
Right,
Right, right. So your work was doing this thing, but
right,
now it's just to kind of take them back and be like this is this your narrative. You know what I'm saying? Your
right,
narration. You get to narrate.
right,
This your commentary.
right,
This your commentary. This
right,
your commentary.
right,
You know what I'm
right,
saying? Aside from what you got going on now.
right,
So I mean, like I said, I'm excited, bro. I'm excited for what you got going, and just keep going. You know, I got you 200%. You know, aside from what I got going, I'm really trying to. I know my lanes is really. This is something I want to do to really touch people with this show. Something that's
right,
just is necessary for people to come to and really get uh news, just positive news. Kind of just keep away from like just the negative, toxicity stuff going on right now. You know what I'm saying? Just to let
right,
them know that it's just every day is you can make it happen. It's possible. Anything is
right,
possible. You know what I'm saying? No matter
right,
what you're trying to do in life, especially for the young ones, and even the ones who are older. You know what I'm saying? Just to continue to grow and learn and be a sponge and
right,
find whatever you find your next niche, whatever your thing,
right.
you know what I'm saying? So I think, but along with that, I felt it was necessary to have an episode where we really kind of just broke down like with uh coming from somebody who is a creative in fashion, just
Right,
to show that contribution. You know what I'm saying? And
right, right, right.
just you can speak for how y'all what represents y'all and what y'all about. Like what do you feel like at the end of the day? What do you want people to take from? I got a couple of questions before we go.
Okay.
This one
Yeah,
would
no,
be
let me.
like what you want people to take from your work. What's your main thing as far as when it comes to what you do? From
Hmm.
everything you've done to what you do now. What would be like one of the main things you want them to take from what you do,
Um,
from your work?
from my work, I would say I would want people to take originality. Um, from everything that I did, whether I was painting the canvas, painting shirts, it was always my way of doing everything.
Right.
Even now, where it's like the t-shirt game has gone into everybody doing vinyl. It was like it's still that way. It's originality. Like nobody does vinyl the way I do it.
Right.
Nobody.
Right.
I don't care. We could go down the line, find somebody. Nobody does it the way I do it. I think that's the main thing. When you think like, oh, that's the Shirt King, the first thing that should come to your mind is this shit is original. You can't get that nowhere else. That's the main part to me as far as, I mean, even just down to fashion in general. I don't care if it was me making something or me getting dressed. It was originality. That's the word that comes to my mind first.
Right.
But yeah, that pretty much sums it up. I mean, I
That
could
sums it
probably
up.
keep
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
But
could probably keep
we
going on, but
we
yeah, let me hear what
gonna
else.
say we gonna save most of that for them to catch on. You know what I'm saying, for the docu
Right.
series. I really wanted you to be here to be a part of that. I was trying to figure out where I wanted to go. If I wanted to go into like really the detailed history or of how like the urban fashion, but I think
Right.
we kind of put it all in perspective, man,
Perspective.
in a good
Yeah.
in a good smooth way. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
Um, and you know we always unscripted with it, and because I know it's something that's just it comes from the heart. You know what I'm saying? It's and compassion, and I really am happy that was able to be a part of this, man. This is what
Oh yeah,
I was
man.
like,
Listen,
I
I
and
appreciate you
you
even
inspired
asking me.
this,
This was
you
dope.
inspired this episode. You inspired this episode because we
Thank you.
always, you know, so we always vibing and being in touch with each other, whatever, or sending stuff on DMs and
Right.
you know
Right.
what I'm
Right.
saying. Until we can get to kick it, you know what I'm saying, face to face. Once you start, you know what
Right.
I'm saying, touching down and making your stops.
Oh
But
yeah, yeah. It's coming. It's coming. I'm
yeah,
literally maybe 2 weeks away from hitting the road.
yeah,
So
yeah. I know
we
you
gonna
be
put
because
all of the
you be
stuff
on
that
it.
yeah, all of this stuff is about to come together, which is another like I'm happy we got the chance to do this because this is like the warm up. Yeah,
We gotta push.
this is dope.
We pushing this episode. We're gonna push this episode, man.
Right.
This is needed, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was like, we can go ahead and whoever gets to see us, salute to everybody who came in on the check-in,
Oh
whether he was
yeah,
in and out,
I see the names at the bottom.
watching. Yeah, salute. I see Black Saturn, but I see a lot of people just coming in, and I tried to wave and show love. If y'all want to see the official video, because we had like a technical difficulty in between the live, I'm gonna make the official edited version. Probably give it like a day or two. Y'all just stay on the lookout on at the Necessary Gram. That's the Necessary Hours page, and y'all can stay in tune on at Benz Only. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Team
you
Benz
want
only.
to give them that and at the Shirt King, or you want
Oh
them
yeah,
to stick
yeah,
with
yeah, yeah.
at
Nah,
the Shirt King?
the Shirt King underscore and at Team Benz only. Both pages.
Yeah.
I bounce back and forth. I'm literally trying to revamp the Team Benz only, the website and everything. I'm trying to do that now.
Okay.
Working on stuff for the winter.
Right.
So I'm in the middle of doing that right now too. At the same time,
Okay.
trying to get situated to hit the road and get everything rolling. But
Right.
yeah, that's you can check in with me. The Shirt King underscore is my personal page. So I actually was gonna give that a break once I left New Jersey, and I was just gonna rock with Team Benz only. But we'll see, because like I said, once we start putting more and more pieces together for the docuseries, I'm gonna eventually do some little teasers on the Shirt King underscore page. So
Yeah.
that's
So
pretty much
I'm
it.
excited, man. You know, I'm behind it. I'm behind you.
Oh yeah.
to an
Oh yeah.
extent,
Oh yeah.
man. And
But you already
we got
gave
some
me a
stuff
clue.
coming.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
we
You already done put a big piece of the beginning stage. Like that was like, when I first heard it, I was like, oh, this is it. This was crazy. Like you really did that. I can't wait to put it all together, because we're gonna do an intro first, and then
Right.
I'm gonna push the intro as like a teaser. So I'm hoping, like, I'm speaking to my man S. Dot. Shout out to him. We can get that done this month. Like, well, September. I'm sorry, not this month. September. Right. We can get that done. I got a few interviews that's lined up in Atlanta that we still got to shoot, and then
Right.
we're gonna go from there. As far as the first like 5 episodes. So that's really
Okay.
what I want for January. At least the first 5 episodes of the series.
Okay.
So
Hey, let's make it happen, man. I'm
Oh, no,
always
we
trying to
definitely
work. I'm trying to get it going, get the soundtrack flowing. And I'm excited, man. I'm excited. This is a long time coming.
Right.
And
Yeah,
I hope
yeah.
you're ready for what you got in store, for what you even got coming up, or what you got
Oh,
going
yeah.
on now. Aside
Oh,
from
yeah.
that,
Oh,
you know, and this is what we just wanted to show on this episode for everybody to know. You know what I'm saying? Just it's necessary in your everyday life. You know what I'm saying? Just to, if anything, if you feel down and out, ain't nothing like getting dressed, getting you a nice outfit, nice fit,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Nice little setup. Even just
Right.
to go out and about, man. I find myself doing that, even just to go to the store, man. Just to go to the
Right.
store, and
just
even
saying,
going on one of my grinds, man. One of my gigs, I do that, so they see what it is. It's like you
Right.
feel good about yourself. This is, instead of just being just slouching and just trying to go with every day, just
Right.
make the best of it. And I think fashion is a key part of that. It's a key factor, and I think that's the real decoded thing of fashion, instead of just wanting to be fashionable and be like, look at me, but just let it be a part, let it exude, let it be a part of you, let it just flow. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And this episode is dedicated to everybody who does that, everybody who represents that, about the real
Right.
fashion, the root of fashion. So salute to everybody who came on the episode, who's gonna watch it later on. Subscribe to the page on the YouTube on Our Win, you know what I'm saying, for Our Work Is Never Done, Our Win and Our Win TV at that. That's on YouTube, and that's where you could get the necessary hour. Y'all like, comment, let us know y'all feeling what we got going on. Comment or like on the platforms like on IG right now. You know what I'm saying? You see on IG, whether if you want to go to you know what I'm saying, whether either one of this here's page, you know what I'm saying, the Shirt King at the Shirt King _ or at Team Benz Only. And let us know y'all rocking with what we got going on, man. And much love to everybody who's been riding with my cousin, man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
The
yeah.
best is yet to come, man.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna put some respect on his name. Y'all gonna put some respect on his name. For those that don't know, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's
They're going to have to. They ain't got no
Yeah.
choice.
Yeah, but this is in a part, man. This is you getting your flowers too, man. Because I know there's a lot of people who I hope they are showing their love and let you know, and showing gratitude. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, people watching you. You know what I'm saying? That's how they all do. I always learn that they always watch, and they watch your consistency. They want to watch, so they want to see how they can still be, how they can embrace your history, how they can embrace what you got coming and what you continue to have coming. That's something I think that can keep us from being keeping us from being discouraged too, bro.
Right.
So I love you, cuzzo.
I love you too, cuz.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, this outlet is for you, man. We could set up another episode of something that you want to do, or even if it's a one-on-one for the creatives out there, for the fashion creators. Right. We'll talk. We'll get it going. You know what I'm saying?
I've been helping two other of my friends. I've been helping them with their line.
Okay.
Trying to bring out their clothing line.
Okay.
I think we should get together and do something where I can have, you know, kind of like a round table here, and then we could go on and do something like that. Because we was talking about doing this, and I was like, you know what, I didn't want to start something and then I hit the road. But definitely, we could definitely do an episode with you, and be able to kind of like zero in on me getting a line going, because I've done that for a lot of people too. But that's a whole nother episode.
That'll work. We can make that happen, because that can help for them as well as for other up and coming creatives. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always up for that, man. This right here, this avenue, aside from what I be doing, this is what the necessary hour represents, man. So we're gonna make it happen, man. Hopefully everybody check the recap. Let's push this episode, get this thing going, and y'all stay tuned, man. Y'all stay tuned where it's necessary. We always keep it necessary, the necessary hour. We went a little over the hour, but it was worth it. You know what I'm saying? Right. So we're gonna make it happen, man. But much love to everybody, like I said, who checked in. You know what I'm saying? One love, God bless. And always keep it necessary. Somewhere in that time of your day, make sure whatever you do is necessary. For real.
Definitely.
All right, y'all. Peace.